Okay, this is just going to give you a general introduction into Photoshop and some of the common problems that students have had in the past. I just want to give you methods for resolving them. So when you first come into Photoshop, this is the way it should look when you get into the program. For most of the projects that we do, you're going to get a template that comes up asking you if you'd like to start your new document to create photos, print, art, and illustrations for web, mobile, or film or video. So depending on your project, this is where you kind of want to make your selection. Most of the time, if I'm working in Photoshop, for this class, I'm usually designing things that will go onto the web. So I'm going to go ahead and click on web. Then you get the basic setups for different screen sizes for looking at a project that's designed to go on the web. So I'm going to go to a medium web design. Over here you can see you can select how you want to do your increments. I generally like to work with pixels when I'm working with Photoshop. Remember, when we're working in Illustrator, we're working with vector graphics, so pixels didn't really exist. Now that we're working with illustrations, and you're going to see pixels in them. Here, if you wanted to change the size of your or your canvas, you could change it here, change orientation. Generally speaking, these are all set the way that you need them, so we can go ahead and create the canvas that we're going to work on. So here's our artboard. Now when students start on this, you can see that we have up here at the top, if you click on Window, you can see all of the different workspace sections here that you could possibly have showing while you're working. So if I click on Adjustments, you're going to see that this tab opens up that shows you adjustments. So that's something that you usually wouldn't have. But it's really important to go through and just navigate and get a feel for the Photoshop workspace before you start. But this can happen sometimes where students come in and they start looking at the page and they can't find anything. Everything's been disappeared. They can't find their toolbar on the left. They can't find the top toolbar, and they're struggling, not knowing what to do. So an easy way to fix this is to go to the top of the page, go to Workspace, and go down to, you can see we have these different ways of creating workspaces. So you can create a new workspace if you want. You can delete a workspace. But what I find is if you go to Essentials, this is the default setup when you first start, and it's usually the interface that most people work on. Click on that interface and it takes you right back to where you were when you started. So if something accidentally disappears on you, then an easy way to get it back is to go to Window, Workspace, and click on this default, and that will get you all of your different toolbars back that you want to have when you're working in this area. And you can see here, if you want to find if there's something that you're working on styles, so you want to make sure styles are up and showing, then you can select them here. But most of them will be available. You just have to navigate and find them on the different menu bars from your tools. Okay, I hope that helps. And once you're finished this, then you can go ahead and in your submission type in done. That was fantastic, and you can move on to your next quest.